Hello and welcome to Mission Nonprofit. I'm your host, Robert Cam. On Mission Nonprofit, we feature a local nonprofit organization from Thurston County each month. And this month, we have the Hispanic Roundtable with us. And with me to talk about the Hispanic Roundtable is Selina Gomez, and you're the president.
I'm the president.
And yep. Olivia Salizar, who is the executive assistant to the president.
Yes.
So, the Hispanic Roundtable, you guys, your primary focus is to help kids in high school be college bound. Is that correct?
It's not just the primary focus. We actually serve as a resource for organizations and persons working with the Latino community, not just in Thurston County, but Mason, Lewis, Grays Harbor, and Pacific County. And one of our major functions is working with high school students in order to make great decisions for themselves after high school, whether it be college or careers or some other positive choice later on. And we do that through the Latino Youth Summit, which we put on every year.
Okay, we'll talk about that some
more.
But let's go back to the beginnings of the Hispanic Roundtable. What started it? I read on your website, La Mesa Redonda was the name of it?
La Mesa Redonda, which is the round table.
That means round table.
Right,
okay,
right.
Good.
And so it started in the early 2000s, around 2002. A few people came together, Cynthia Santiago, Eunice Santiago, Lilia Gomez. They came together and they wanted to share resources and share information from the different organizations that they work with to help better serve the Latino population that they were working with.
a lot of health services and
public
services.
Right. So, I mean, stuff just wasn't available. Forms in Spanish or interpreters, how to reach out to the community to pass off important information for them. And so they brought together various people from different organizations. I became involved with the Hispanic Roundtable when I was diversity librarian for the Timberland Regional Library. I'm a librarian with the library now. And we brought the library into the mix with that in terms of reaching out into the community, because the library covers those 5 counties also, so we've been a partner throughout the time in different manners the same way. So the Hispanic Roundtable originally had groups in Lewis County, Mason County, Grays Harbor County, but the people were all serving the Latino community together, and eventually it just came down to one group where the seat is in Thurston County, but the services expand out.
I see, okay. So they just merged it all, and then they changed the name, or just put it in English?
Yeah, I guess eventually it came to where it was referred to as the Hispanic Roundtable. It's just easier for people to say, I think. I wasn't part of that decision process, but we still refer to ourselves as La Mesa Redonda. It's just easier to say the Hispanic Roundtable and use our website that way. So,
okay.
And I think officially we're the Hispanic Roundtable
South Sound.
Now.
Sound, right, to incorporate all of those counties within that. So.
But your website is HispanicRoundtable.org?
Right.
And is that just your local one, or is that bigger?
That's for the South Sound, for all those people in all those
Sound.
counties. That's right.
All right.
Yep.
So if people want to know more, they can always go to HispanicRoundtable.org and learn more about you. But let's talk more about you right now. So back then you helped out with interpreting and health forms and other things like that?
Yeah, it really was quite varied. It really depended on what people needed. So, for example, at one point, it was, somebody needed help reaching the Hispanic community to disseminate health information. And so we all started pitching in. Well, here's this church that offers Mass in Spanish. Here's this store that's willing to put up flyers. Here's this parent group that's developed in this city. And it was sharing that type of information so that we could disseminate important information to the Latino community in different ways that they weren't getting through their organization. So that's really how we started out. Eventually, then it brought in the importance of education choices for Latino youth, and that's where the Latino Youth Summit developed out of there, and that's become a really large part of the work that we do. There's still a lot of networking. We work with people throughout the counties, the colleges and universities in the area, and things of that sort, and then the Latino Youth Summit on top of all of that. So,
when did the Latino Youth Summit start up?
The first one I went to was in 2002, I believe it was, in
It was
Shelton.
like 12 years ago.
From the
Yeah,
beginning?
yeah.
Sounds
So
like
from the beginning, the
Mhm.
first one was in Shelton, and I think there was maybe
50.
65 kids.
Wow.
And that was it. Whereas in 2013, we registered over 500 kids,
Oh,
and
neat.
we had to turn some schools away because we reached maximum capacity. So it's grown quite a bit. It's been
Sounds
very
like it, yep.
successful.
And
Yeah.
and then so each year the Latino Youth Summit is held at a different college.
Correct.
And so last year it was SPSCC.
Last year was SPSCC. Yes.
What about this next year?
2014 will be at St. Martin's University.
St. Martin's,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So the planning is just beginning for that. It's almost a full year of planning, probably about 9 months worth of planning from beginning to end. So we start over fresh each year. I mean, we have history in our background for it, so we know what we need to do and all, but we start fresh every year. So all the fundraising, the development of the posters, the program, the speakers, volunteers, the whole 9 yards.
Is it a same time every year? Is
It
fall or-
depends.
Fall.
It's
Usually
in the
it's
usually
fall.
fall.
It depends on the schools. Usually they're academic advising days because there are less students on campus and the classrooms are available. And so that's when we come in and pour it onto the campus.
Yeah.
And with
there's
these
just tons of kids.
universities, it's really cool because we're able to highlight some of their programs too, and that's kind of why we do it during an advising days. Maybe we can get some of those professors available or show off some of the facilities. Like last year at SPSCC, we, like for instance, the automotive. We took them down to the automotive department. We had them play with the car. We had them do actual hands-on stuff. It was really cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So we have 4 partners. We have St. Martin's University, SPSCC, Centralia College, and the Evergreen State College. So all these years we've been rotating between those campuses. We're really hoping to expand our partnerships maybe out towards Grays Harbor and with other school districts and things of that sort. So we have the support of some of the local school districts also.
So what are some of the things that happen at the Youth Summit? Like you told me about going down to the vocational buildings that are talking about the cars and automotive repair. And what other things happen?
So sort of the standard structure is the kids come in, we give them a little bit of breakfasty stuff because they're very early in the morning. They're getting bussed in from their schools. And then there's the opening keynote, basically.
Okay.
We usually have a special guest that will come in and talk. I'll say a little bit, the president of the college or their representative will say a little bit. And then ideally after that, they go off into various sessions. So it might be how to apply for financial aid, how to apply to college, healthy relationship choices. Maybe we've had things such as citizenship. Student
Yeah.
leadership. I mean, it just really depends on what's available, not only from volunteers willing to put on programs, these little 45-minute sessions, but also what's available through the school. So as she was saying, this year in SPSCC, we were able to highlight their programs. And there was a lot more programs where kids could see what was available to them should they apply to that school. And then they come back for lunch, and we serve them lunch. We always try to find something very tasty from a local caterer or restaurant. And this last year we used Tacos California. I don't know if anybody's seen the
truck.
the taco truck.
trucks.
They did a great job.
Yes.
And then they go back to sessions, and then they're done for the day, and they go back home on their bus.
So a lot of it is showing them, what's out there for college, for why
Exactly.
they should go to college, why
Right.
it's important. But there's also some other things about
Oh,
it,
yeah.
too.
Right.
It sounds like, the
Right.
healthy relationships.
Right.
You talked about
We had one on Dreamers, talking about the Dream Act and what that could mean for them.
the Dream Act.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the kids who are children of immigrants or were brought over to the U.S. At a young age, under the age of, I think they have to be 31.
Oh.
Something like that. But they are eligible for certain entrances into schools and scholarships and things of that sort, although they are not U.S. citizens. So that's the DREAM Act, and there's information all over the internet about that. But we brought down somebody to talk about how that might affect them, and so they were welcome to come in and do that.
Yeah, so we've had things, the Northwest Immigrants' Right Project, I believe, is the people that we have do those kind of immigrant type workshops every year.
Yeah. We've had mini writing sessions for
Yeah.
scholarships. Wow, I mean, you name it. We've had so many
healthy
different types of
lifestyles.
programs. It might be,
Oh, we did a really
interviewing
cool, the student leadership one this last year was really good because we had a brand new Latino student club at SPSCC
Right.
got started this year. And so we had those guys come over and do a workshop about student leadership. So peers, talking to peers.
Professional discussions. I was part of a panel talking about alternative careers. So as a librarian, you don't see, that's not usually the first thing that jumps out the mouth when you think about a career as a Hispanic child. I didn't. And so the idea of becoming a librarian or being a lawyer or being an interpreter, maybe things that they didn't necessarily think about that they actually could do in their lives. So lots of great different programs. It just sort of depends on the year that we're doing it.
I think the biggest thing with this is we want students to walk away and have their narratives be changed. We want them to start thinking about their futures in a different way. And sometimes when you hear that message coming from someone who kind of looks like you, it makes a big difference, especially if they're telling you about college and making you think that maybe you might possibly be a college student, or actually bringing them onto campus and letting them see themselves in the environment. It's life-changing. So
It opens up the possibilities.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I'm noticing your program here from last year. It looks very nice. Do you think we can get a
Can I see
shot
that?
of their Latino Youth Summit program? So this was from 2013.
This
and
was
it
from 2013. This was designed by
Judy.
Nunez at the Evergreen State College. She designed this for us, and the kids loved it. They just love. I mean, this is one of our more beautiful designs. We've had artists. I'm gonna mess up his name.
A Dream de Valdivia.
Right. He did a number of our.
It's a Chicano
programs
artist out
also.
of Seattle.
So was this a Hispanic artist that did this?
She's really amazing. Well, we were very lucky. So
Yeah.
usually what we do is we work with the media department over at each college, and Judy, works at Evergreen State College, and she's just wanted to stay on and kind of
to work with us.
us on a continuous basis, even if the Evergreen State College isn't hosting. So we're very lucky. that
Nice.
Judy-
So is she doing this year's?
Yeah.
We're hoping so.
Yeah, we want to. We want to
Hopefully
have her
she'll
as
see the
long as we
show
can have her.
and-
I hope so. I hope so. And every year is a different thing. So this last year in 2013, it was the power of the word, or El Poder de la Palabra. And we had Luis Alberto Urrea, who is a Nobel Prize nominee for his books, come out and speak, an author, poet, an activist in his own right, and he came out and talked to the kids, and they loved it.
God.
They loved it. The year before, it was Sean Arce, who was the director of the Mexican American Studies program that was outlawed in Arizona, in Tucson. He came. He was the creator of that. He came and he led the kids through sort of a self-reflection poem slam, for lack of a better word, and really brought out a lot of feelings in those kids and a lot of feelings of empowerment. So it's been really great. And we've had local speakers also. So we run from local to national, back and forth. It just depends on who we can get that year. So we have high hopes for this year. We don't have a plan just yet, but we have high hopes for this year that it'll be just as wonderful.
Let's talk more about the high hopes for next year, but let's first go to this video that we
Okay.
have about last year's Youth
Right.
Summit and how it helped the children, or I guess they're children,
Right.
Yeah.
They're in high school.
still. And so let's go to this video, and we'll be right back to talk more about the Hispanic Roundtable.
The reason why I wanted to come to the Youth Latino Summit was because I want to learn more about college and why it is like really cool to be Mexican and Latino.
I came here with an open mind. I had no idea what this experience was going to be about.
The reason I wanted to come to the Latino Youth Summit was because I don't know, I felt like, okay, well, I should just see what learning experiences I can get out of the Latino Youth Summit. And I thought it would be a good idea. And with all the classes, it would be a little time to take a break and all the stress could get out of my head.
I come to the summit really to learn more about my culture, I guess.
This program helps you expand your opportunities because there are some people out there who doubt themselves, who think that they're not ready or they don't know what they want to be when they grow up, and they just get swept up by the wind.
My goals are to try to attend St. Martin's University or go to University of Portland, because my sister did, and she was like the first person in my family to go to college, and she's Latina, so I'm trying to do the same thing and become a doctor or a pediatrician.
But this program really does open up a lot of opportunities, lots of scholarships for students who don't, again, know who they are or know what they want to be in life. And sometimes we all need a little bit of help in our lives.
I think the highlight of my day was all of the workshops I've been to so far. I think they've been really, really good. Like I went to one that was about words that win, to write an essay for scholarships. And I think they tell you tips how to write those essays. And I think if you're a person who is learning how to do those essays, and if you maybe have a hard time, then it would be a great place to go and learn those tips.
The most highlight experience of my day was meeting author Luis Urria. He is a magnificent author. He's been through so much, and I can connect so well to him, and I'm sure a lot of students can too.
I really like how he emphasized on being proud of who you are, because it's a great culture to be, Latino.
I got to shake his hand, and he's gave me some very powerful words that I'm going to keep in my heart and hopefully just expand my horizon and see how far I can get in life.
I want to become a civil engineer someday.
My dream and my goals, I could say that I would want to be maybe a teacher.
I'm not really sure what I really want to do in life, but that's okay. But one thing for sure is I love helping people. If anything, I'm leaning towards being a parole officer or being a medic, something along those fields where I can help out somebody.
Hi, welcome back to Mission Nonprofit. I'm your host, Robert Kam, and this month's guest is the Hispanic Roundtable of South Sound. So you just watched a video about the Latino Youth Summit from 2013 at SPSCC. So with me again is Selina Gomez and Olivia Salizar with the Hispanic Roundtable. Mm-hmm. So that was last year.
Right.
And now we've got next year coming up in the fall or winter, or
right.
It's sometime next, this year.
Right.
It will be in 2014.
It will be in
yes.
2014,
okay.
yes.
So what do you have on the agenda for this year?
One thing that we're really excited about this year is that we get to award scholarships to SPSCC. Dr. Stokes of SPSCC, the president of SPSCC, awarded us a grant of $3,000 in order to award 3 $1,000 scholarships to high school students, Latino high school students that attended the Latino Youth Summit in 2013. Uh-huh. So I just talked with him the other day, and we'll be able to do the same thing for 2014.
Oh,
so
great.
the kids that are ready to go off to college and potentially to our community colleges, or to SPSCC, I should say, are eligible to apply for these scholarships to SPSCC. So we're really excited about that, and all the information is on our website. The deadline is March 1st, though, so it is coming up fairly quickly. So kids who made it to the Latino Youth Summit in 2013 that are ready to go to SPSC need to get that scholarship application in. So we're very excited about that we'll be able to do that for the next couple of years.
So what are the criteria for getting one of those scholarships? Is it grades? Is it
it's a
need?
2.0 GPA.
We left it pretty low.
It's pretty. It's
Yeah.
pretty flexible. Admission to SPSCC, they do have to write a short essay,
Okay.
but it's not. The standards are not so high that it leaves people out. It really is about making scholarships accessible to kids that are going to go to SPSCC. And we hope one day that our other partner schools will do the same thing.
Oh, definitely. So
we'd
you just have those scholarships for SPSCC. but
SPSCC only at this
Okay.
point. So we would
Well,
love
we
to have
need
our
more.
other yes,
Right.
definitely
you need more,
so.
and these colleges out there, they need to, or
Right.
that was a benefactor that
Right.
provided that money every year.
It was coming, I believe, through their foundation. I don't want to
Okay.
speak about that, but it was provided, at Dr. Stokes' impetus, I suppose is a good word to put it, and specifically so that we could decide how we wanted to award that. So
Nice.
we were very excited about that.
Well,
And
hopefully
Dr.
get some-
Stokes is so
He's been
incredibly
very generous,
supportive.
very
Yeah.
generous this last year. So
I mean, he was the whole reason why we were able to get the speaker that we were last year too.
to get a national
Yeah.
speaker. So
Nice.
very exciting. So St. Martin's, like I said, we were just in the beginning stages of planning. We have high hopes for speakers, and we haven't quite figured out what our theme is just yet, but we should be doing that fairly soon, starting that fairly soon. And then we have, all of our sponsor partners that will be asking for donations and things of that sort.
We should remind the viewers about the website address so that they can go to your website and
Right.
learn more and follow up on, the Latino Youth Summit and if they are.
And that's the HispanicRoundtable.org, all one word.
HispanicRoundtable.org.
Also, we do have a Facebook page.
yeah.
If you look up Hispanic Roundtable or if you look up Latino Youth Summit, we're there, and we do have a Twitter page. So,
Nice.
Yep. So
Okay.
we're lots of ways to get a hold of us.
Good. And then you probably work on donations, and you probably have to do some fundraising. And
We do. We do always appreciate donations. There is a PayPal tab on the website, which is always great. Our Latino Youth Summit it's a pretty expensive endeavor because we pay for the food, we pay for all the printing, we get a lot of in-kind donation through our partner schools and through some of our sponsors like the library offers quite a bit also. And but we have great sponsors, so like North Thurston School District provides Intel. Intel's been giving us tablets and notebooks each year to give away to the students. It's been
Give away
it's
tablets?
so nice. They're like beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Like $1,000. I mean, I don't know how much they are, but really
They're
nice.
gorgeous.
Intel, the U.S. Forestry Service has provided donations to us. Home Depot,
Molina Healthcare.
Molina Healthcare. I mean, you name it. All of our sponsors are listed up on our webpage, so they've all been extremely generous and have helped us provide, various swags, not just bags, but we provided USB bracelets to all of the kids, so they have 2 gigabyte bracelets, and all the sponsor information.
We're
is
trying
on
to
there.
go green, so
Yes,
instead of
so
doing
no
a lot
paper.
of printed paper, we actually put all of our stuff on the USBs.
on the
oh, you put
USBs.
the files and,
Yeah.
and all of the materials? Oh, how brilliant.
Yeah, so
That's
we're always
smart.
trying to find some neat ways to give something to the kids so they always remember us once they leave for the day. So.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I think any, Hispanic high school student should be a part of that. It sounds,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
You can't go wrong.
We're really excited about
Good food
the
and-
response.
And it's free for them.
Free
Everything
stuff.
is
Yeah, it's all
completely
free.
free.
Scholarship
Free.
opportunities.
Yeah, we're looking hopefully to start involving parents in the process.
Yeah.
But it's going to take some planning, but we think that's going to be a big part of helping those kids even more get to college. In whatever form that is, 2-year or 4-year, by involving the parents so that they understand what's needed for their kids to go to college and that it is possible. So,
What other services do you have available besides the Youth Summit? I mean, we talked about that earlier about, translation services and healthcare help and what did we talk about? The Dream, what was that called?
The Dream Act?
the Dream Act is,
yeah.
at the moment, it's really about networked information. So, if you come to a meeting and say, I really need to know this, or if you contact us, I really need to know this, we're about networking people together so that we can provide better services. We do have plans in the future for perhaps putting together a resource book for the 5 counties so that people can get a hold of each other easier, know what services are out there so that they don't have to recreate the wheel. We'd love to see bigger membership meetings so that people can come together more often and meet each other and have special speakers so that we know what's going on in our service area for all of these people. So the Latino Youth Summit takes up a lot of time, but there's still a lot of sort of background work going on in there, and it's more about let's talk to each other and see what we can work out. So,
And you said meeting. Are we talking about the annual meeting?
there's the annual meeting coming up in March. So, it is an open meeting, so we invite anybody to come. And then we do try to have regular meetings about every 2 months.
Okay.
So,
Every other month.
and
Are
they're
those
posted up on our
on
website
the
all the
website.
time.
There we go.
Yep.
HispanicRoundtable.org. So go to
Right.
that website and learn about when the meetings are if
Right.
you need some of these services.
And Latino Youth Summit planning meetings, which are like throughout the year, rest of the year. Usually they start out once a month and then they more
They
than
get more
once a month,
frequent the
like once
closer
a
we
week.
get.
Yeah, okay.
once
So-
we get closer to the date.
Yep. And so if anybody would like to volunteer for that and learn more about that, they're welcome to come and do that also.
Yeah. And so anyway, yeah, everybody's welcome to those meetings. The
Yeah,
Latino
absolutely.
Youth Summit
Yeah.
meetings
Absolutely.
even too.
Yeah, we don't say that people have to be Hispanic to be part of
Yeah.
us.
You don't have to be
Like,
Hispanic,
yeah.
you don't have to speak Spanish, you just
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
want to serve the community.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the biggest part. We're all there, we really care about this community and want to make sure that they're receiving services just like everybody else and are aware of what they're available for. So.
But the Latino Youth Summit is for Hispanic
That
high
is
schools.
specifically for Latino high school students, yes.
How do you get them? How do you find, the Hispanic high school students?
We have a great volunteer, Teresa Kimball, who works for the College Success Foundation, and she goes out and makes sure that the schools all know about this. She delivers posters, does save the date cards, she contacts them, she talks to the bus drivers, and so they all know. Now we don't have to recruit that hard because they know that this happens and they're calling us, when's the date, when is that going to happen? So the problem of getting kids to come is not a problem. The problem is having enough room for all the kids that want to come. That's our biggest
We're at
issue right
capacity
now.
at this point,
We are at
yeah.
capacity. So I mean, we literally can't fit any more kids in
Oh
a
my
space
gosh.
by fire code.
Wait
So-
a minute. So do they have to register then?
They have to register,
Oh,
yes.
well, that's important to know.
Yes, they do have to register, and the registration goes up about a month before the summit, and it gets announced through Facebook and Twitter and on the website.
And on the
Mhm,
website,
And at the
okay.
schools and school district emails and you name it, it gets announced. So they're ready, they're waiting for it.
And also, I should say that the schools do a really good job of
They do.
working with the students and getting them all registered as a big packet and getting in. I mean, they just do all this hands-on stuff with them, huh? They like actually walk them through the entire process and get all the
Yep.
parental consent forms together. I mean, so it's usually the teachers that do quite a bit of the work.
Yep,
And then
they're
they come
champions in the
with
school.
them too as chaperones on the day of the event.
So we even through Teresa's work, actually, we're able to provide them continuing education credits for the teachers. So that's a big boon right there. So that's a new thing for them. And then we like to make sure that our sponsors provide like coffee vouchers for the bus drivers so that they're not left out in the cold. November can be kind of chilly. So we like to make sure they have a Danish and some coffee, something to keep them going while they're waiting for kids to come back out. So we try to think of everybody.
And we're doing chaperone workshops now too. Yep.
So just a lot happening.
I think we could keep talking, but I think we have to wrap it up for this
That's okay.
episode.
That's okay.
But I want to remind everybody out there watching that they should go to the website, HispanicRoundtable.org, to learn more and watch for that Latino Youth Summit coming up in the late fall. So if you're a Hispanic high school student especially, and if you want to get involved and go to the annual meeting, that's in March 21st?
Yes.
March 21st.
And otherwise, they should check out your website. And, go to those meetings and
Yeah.
get involved.
And like
Okay.
us on Facebook.
And like them on
On
Facebook.
Facebook,
Perfect.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Mission Nonprofit. I'm Robert Cam. I'll see you next time. If you know of a local nonprofit that's making a difference in our community, give us a call at 956-3100 extension 103 or send an email to rkam@tctv.net.